Hey everybody, this is Jamie Stillman with Team Steelman Mortgage, and thanks for joining us. Today we have a special guest in studio, and that is Alyssa Sparks. She is a member of Team Steelman Mortgage and does so much to help so many. But today we're going to talk a little bit about that and other stuff about her and her life. So really excited to have her here. So thanks, Alyssa, for joining us.
Hi, guys. Yes, my name is Alyssa, like Jamie said, and I'm very excited to be here and be speaking with you guys today.
Awesome. So tell us just a little bit about, bio, who you are, where you're from, all that good stuff.
I can do that. So like you said, my name is Alyssa. I am from Nashville. I was not born here, so I don't get to call myself a Nashville unicorn. But I grew up in the heart of Nashville. I now live outside of Nashville in Lebanon, Tennessee. I live with my boyfriend, his two older daughters, and then I just had a son a year and a half ago. So we stay pretty busy. I would say my life is split 50-50 family and then the rest work. So those are the two things that kind of I prioritize in my life right now.
Awesome. So I know a little bit about blended families and stepkids and all that kind of stuff. So tell me what you think about being a mom, being a stepmom, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's definitely different dynamics. It's hard to kind of balance the two different things because we have them in our house full time, and so yes, I'm their stepmom, but I'm not their mom, and I have to respect their mom and not kind of cross those boundaries. So it's definitely not a struggle, but just a daily thing that I kind of have to mentally battle on how to balance those. Parenting my son and then also respecting their mother and us, the blended family that we are. So, it's a challenge, but I love it and I'm very thankful for them. So
me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
I mean, while my kids were growing up, me and Stacy got together 16 years ago. So we had, her three, my three, and I my favorite thing to be called is a dad, and now grandpa. But just the difference in your kids that you have, and then you've got other parents that you've got to respect boundaries and do all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot that goes to it. I mean, it's super rewarding, but there's a lot you have to think about. Yeah,
and I think at the end of the day, it makes me a better mother and a better human because I have to kind of think outside of the box, outside of me just parenting, with his dad. We just have other dynamics that we have to kind of work through. And so, at the end of the day, it's a good challenge for me, I think. Yeah.
So tell me, you said the two daughters, and you have a little one.
Yes.
So what's everybody's ages in that stuff?
Yes. So we have a 13-year-old, 11-year-old. So they're both girls, and then we have an Owen. He's almost a year and a half. So he'll turn a year and a half this month on the 24th. So a big age gap, and then also just the dynamic of two older girls and then a male. Obviously, I don't have my own girl that I've raised, but based on what dad has said, he said that it's completely different.
One of the biggest things when me and Stacy first got together, I had three boys.
Okay,
so no girls at all. And, people are like, oh, this is going to be that, this is going to be that. And Stacy's like, girls are different than boys. And I'm like, I kind of been like a single parent, managing, co-parenting with people for like 8 years in between getting married and remarried. So I was like, what's the big deal? It's just kids. It'll be fine. Literally like 2 weeks after they moved in, I was just like, oh my God. I was like, why is she crying now? What's going on? Oh my God, what is the problem? And she's like, girls are different. So it only took me like 2 weeks to go, okay, girls are different than boys.
Yeah.
It's a totally different experience.
Yeah. And then on top of that, not only are girls different from boys, the boys within boys are just different because they're all just individual children. And, I can say if I had another boy, I don't imagine that boy would be the same as Owen, And so, it's definitely the best ride I've ever been on.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I can't believe he's almost a year and a half old. Because I remember maternity leave while you were working with us, and that doesn't seem real.
Well, and I kind of started with you when I had just found out that I was pregnant, so I'm sure that was a jump scare for you. You're like, well, what's the point of this person joining my team if she's pregnant and probably about to leave us? But I'm still going strong.
It's worked out to be amazing.
Yes.
So how long ago did you come over? So
I guess I came with CMG about 3 years ago, but I will be with you specifically for 2.5 years I've been with you now. So 2.5 years because I had started with CMG, was only with them for about 6 months, and then I joined your team specifically 6 months in with CMG.
Yeah. Wow. It's been one of the best things that ever happened.
It feels so weird saying 2.5 years though, right?
Yeah, it does because it goes fast.
Wow, it goes so fast. 2.5 years we've been together. That's wild.
Yeah. So what's some of your favorite parts about the mortgage business and what we do, you know, on a daily basis?
I mean, it's so boring. It's so boring, but I feel like one of my favorite parts, as far as like behind the scenes of talking with the clients and, you know, obviously gaining relationships and things like that. But one of my favorite things is obviously, you know, Jamie, but everybody else doesn't know that I'm a organization psycho a little bit. And so I truly just enjoy keeping up with the day to day, making sure that none of our clients are falling through the cracks, making sure that everybody's being followed up with, and my own spreadsheets and my Excels. I truly just enjoy the organization part of my job. That I would say that's more like behind the scenes type thing, but obviously my upfront day to day is speaking with the clients, and typically I'm the, you know, first person that they're speaking with, and so that's something that I really enjoy, just kind of setting the tone for their experience with us. So I've gained a lot of relationships, and usually sometimes we talk outside of mortgages, and that's, you know, something that I really enjoy because I want this to be a personal experience for them as well.
And when you say, what was the term you used?
What did I say?
Organizational psycho?
Yes.
I mean, your
Type
organization skills. Yeah. I mean, I will tell you, you don't understand. She's not understating that a bit. Your organizational skills are off the charts. And for a business owner, and people have no idea, having somebody like you on their side is the best thing that's ever happened, bar none. I mean, because having somebody that keeps the kind of records that you keep, so that nobody falls through the cracks, so that agents get called back. I mean, it's insane. I can't state it enough. How much your organizational skills change our entire team and our business.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm tooting my own horn, which I don't like to toot my own horn, but I can definitely see that why some businesses may not afloat or, you know, keep going because they don't have some type of system in place to document this client or that client, or just whatever system that they need in order to excel their business. Because I shouldn't call people out, but like specific realtors sometimes will come to us and say, do you have a list of, you know, this client or that client?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I do. And I'm so happy to be able to help that, because not only, you know, is it helping us, but it's helping the realtors too. And that, I think that kind of like bleeds into their business to be able to, you know, help them come up with a system that might work for them as well. Yeah.
I mean, every time I talk about mortgages and any kind of, you know, workshops I go to and everybody's number one thing they want to do better, and number one complaint about lenders is communication.
Really?
It's either I love the communication I get, or they don't communicate enough. It all revolves around that. And just something that popped in my head I think is interesting. So, you know, not that we have to talk about every woman's age, but I think you're early 30s, right?
I am. I think so. I think that's where I'm at right now.
So are you a millennial?
Yes, I'm a millennial.
Okay. So millennials, you know, by stereotype, don't like to talk on the phone.
Oh, I know.
But yet your job is to talk on the phone a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that I do understand it, because just growing up is when electronics and social media really started to play a huge role into just society. And so I definitely think that kind of put a setback on our development of being able to have social skills of picking up the phone and talking on the phone. I definitely accredit my phone skills to my parents. I can see that in my friends that are my age as well. They're not the type of people that would prefer to have a phone call. And granted, like, I don't mind texting here and there, but sometimes it is easier just to pick up the phone, and you have to kind of respect other people's how they work. And sometimes a phone call is easier for them, especially like our elderly clients and things like that who aren't tech savvy. It's just easier to pick up the phone, and that makes it more personal as well, because you can hear the person on the other end.
And I think not just in mortgages, it's that way in general, but I mean, even our industry, you know, we talk about all the time different people besides us, whether it be an insurance company or a title company or processors that you've worked with. Like, you go through and you're like, but are you talking to the people? Like, I know a lot of people are just like, text me, email me, but sometimes there's like these major things in our industry, and we're like, you just need to make a phone call.
Yes.
You know, but a lot of people are reluctant to. Everybody's like, oh, I can just email, that's easier. But not everybody checks their email every day.
No, they
depending
don't.
on what you do for a living, or elderly people that some of those people don't even have email addresses.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's important too, because kind of how society has shifted to text and email type only. We don't really call or leave voicemail. So when someone leaves me a voicemail, I'm like, oh, somebody left me a voicemail. Like, I need to check that voicemail, because it's just not the norm anymore. And so even just even just making a simple outreach and leaving a voicemail, I feel like makes a difference because that's just not the normal anymore.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, and I do feel like I differ from the other aged women that I fall in line with.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting too, because also I struggle with this a lot. And I know when you first probably came to my team, Harmony, who's been with me for a while, kind of makes jokes, and other people tell me like there's no tone in email and text. So sometimes my texts and emails come across nothing like I want them to.
Your texts and emails come completely different than what I feel like my tone do. I would say that emails and texts don't have tones, but I feel like I work very hard to make sure that mine come off as with a tone.
Yeah, I have trouble doing that. So
you do, JB.
Sometimes mine are very misinterpreted because I'm like, no, I'm not upset about anything. I just left 3 words out and the punctuation's wrong and it's just saying what I don't want it to say.
Yeah, and I think that you're just very fast paced and you have all these things going on. So you relay the information and then you send it and you move on to the next thing versus someone like me. So that I guess, and I feel like women my age as well, maybe men my age as well too, we overthink the things that we're texting and emailing as well too, more so than I would guess your age people do. Like you guys are just... You're just typing and emailing and then you send it. You don't double think. I'm like the type of person, do I put an exclamation point? Do I put 2? Do I remove 1? I'm overthinking my texting and emailing. So sometimes a phone call is just easier for me because I'm not overthinking my conversation.
Yeah.
It's just natural.
Yeah. And for me, like some of the punctuation stuff, because, I have 6 kids. So like some of my kids, my son or especially my 23-year-old daughter, like when I used to text her, if I do this,
The thumbs
up. She's like, "Oh my God, why'd you say that to me?"
Well, and that's just the classic meme, dad meme, Jamie. Like you're falling in line right with the thumbs up.
I know. It's terrible. But she's like, "Don't say that to me." I'm like, "That just means okay." And she's like, No, it doesn't. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
So I have to learn sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just like we all interpret things differently. And I just feel like, honestly, social media has played into that so well because I can recount my dad sending me a thumbs up and I'm like, so... do you not like that? Did you not like what I just said to you? Like, and now I'm overthinking the response. So just to circle back, like sometimes a conversation over the phone is just easier and more natural and kind of gets straight to the point.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of conversations where we have to explain to people, from my standpoint of like when we're first getting ready and the lock is floating, it's not locked.
Sure.
We haven't done a lender credit.
Sure.
Some of these title fees aren't set yet. And so just texting somebody and saying, hey, don't worry about those forms. You're just acknowledging you've seen them is like, I don't know if I want to do that. But if you can call somebody and say, hey, this is how the process works. We have 3 days to disclose and you can walk through that. It's like, it's just received totally different.
Sure.
But, so there's just some things that I always pick up the phone and call. If somebody's just a texter and they love that, I'm like, hey, I won't bug you. That's fine. Let me shoot you this. But I'll even text them and say, hey, do you have time for a quick conversation? Because there's just a lot of things with buying a home, spending $150 or $1 million that I want to make sure we're on the same page. I had a conversation as I was walking in here today with a guy that's closing in a week or so, and the taxes, when we had got over the initial estimated taxes on new construction, they were higher than I thought they would be for the county. But I went ahead and told him this is what they're estimating because I want you to know I don't want any surprises. Well, then the closing disclosure comes out today and the taxes are much lower. And then so the title company's like, we've already got the assessment. This is what they are. So I was able to call him back. But like if I would have tried to text all that in email, he would have just been like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and it can get misconstrued. And then, sometimes people don't want to voice their opinion back or get further clarification. So then they just get into their head. And so sometimes it's just easier to make that phone call and make sure everybody's on the same page and not reading too much into a text message or an email.
Yeah. I think it's huge. And I went to a class recently, making me feel like I'm really old. Dale Carnegie class that was talking about how to talk to millennials and Gen Z.
Oh my goodness.
A little bit better. If you work with a lot of those kind of people.
Really?
And so it's funny, like, because they have different people that work for Dale Carnegie that come out and do the classes.
Okay.
Coaches. And that's what they were talking about was like some of the lingo.
So how are you supposed to talk to me, Jamie?
It took a whole hour class. I've got notes, but
okay.
just talking about how the different people respond, different generations, why they're kind of built that way. And then talking about, phone, email, text, when that stuff came along and how it's received in today's world. So it was neat because there were people that were like 18 to 60 something in that class.
Wow.
So hearing their feedback was really cool and going, oh, maybe I don't speak the same language all the time, but having a little insight of going, maybe that's how they look at that. Where I look at it this way, like what you were just talking about. I sent it, I said what I needed to say, and it's off. Where I need to think sometimes, well, what if the person on the other end is of a totally different generation? They're reading that from a different perspective, and I'm not saying what I want to say. So it was good for me just in general, not to be specific about generations, but to be able to say, okay, I need to think sometimes who's on the other end reading that. How are they going to receive it? Am I saying what I want to say, or am I confusing them more?
No, that makes sense. And it makes me think of, not that this is a team meeting, but I was brainstorming the other day. Not brainstorming. I was going to get a massage. And so I was going to get a massage, and sometimes the masseuse or whoever, they like to have conversations with you. I do not like to speak when I'm getting a massage.
Okay.
And so I remember I went one place one time, and they had me fill out a survey, and they put on there, do you like to talk? Yes or no? And I was like, I love that, because I'm the type of person where I'm like, I'm not going to be like, hey, I don't want to speak to you. Please stop talking to me. Like, I'm trying to enjoy this massage. I'm not that type of person. So the fact that they asked me that prior and then could kind of respect those wishes quietly, without addressing them, I was just thinking that would just be a good thing for our clients up front. What is your preferred method of communication? Yeah. It's such a simple question, but it can go a long way in this process to make sure that we're on the same page. Do you prefer a text message? Do you prefer just an email? Do you prefer a phone call? What's the best way that we not just me, but our entire team communicates with you each step of the way?
Sure.
Because I think that can go a long way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great point. I was having that conversation the other day, and I hadn't really thought about the very front end, because I've even had people before where I've thought they really just wanted to text a whole lot. But nobody ever said that.
Yes.
And then maybe something's not quite understood right. And then I'll get a message that says, I really hate doing everything by text. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but you think that they are, because they're responding so well to text messages. And at that point, you're just judging them at that point. It's like, oh, well, they're responding so well via text message, so I thought that's what they would prefer, but maybe it's not, and so just the initial question of how would you like us to communicate main points to you, throughout this process.
Yeah, and I love that you said not this is a team meeting, because I was just I was doing an interview the other day, and we were talking about our team and how it's structured. And I said one of my favorite parts is, that when we do get together and have our team meetings, we try, and I think every time we do a better job of this, we try to find out like what's going good.
Sure.
What needs a little bit of work. Where can we get better? Like, if things are going really good, that's great. But is there anything that happened that we can work on? Can we make this better? If something happened that really was bad, was it a one-off thing, or is that something that we really need to put a system in place for?
Sure.
And I think that's what's great about everybody on our team is I think everybody's willing to work however we need to for the greater good. And there's a lot of people out there, teams that I've worked with in the same office or that kind of thing. And it's kind of like they say their way is the way that it's going to be. And like, this is how we're going to work. This is how we're going to do it. And I like an approach of being much more open to like, how are you, comfortable with doing your role? Where do you want to grow in that role?
For sure.
What can you do? And I think that's gone a long way, because the way we started once all four of us were together is totally different than where we are today.
Yes.
And I think we're all looking for ways to help each other. And that's what's really cool. I don't feel like anybody is like, oh, that's your job. That's your job. Everybody's like, can I do this? Do you want me to do that? Everybody wants to. I'm constantly learning. Yeah. And I've been doing this forever. And everybody else seems to have the attitude of like, let's figure out solution-based. What can we do to make this better at the end of the day? Like, nothing's perfect in mortgages at all. It's not a perfect business. It's fun and it's rewarding. But being able to take a step back and even, whatever you want to call it, constructive criticism from everybody, whether it's you or Steve or anybody tells me something, hey, I think they might be taking it this way. Can you do that? So I think that's really huge for everybody to be kind of coachable from top to bottom and kind of look at different ways we can get better.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we all definitely benefit from. And then also, I mean, I've worked for previous lenders where the turnover was pretty bad. And so the fact that, all four of us have worked together for this long and, thankfully nobody has left the team, that's just been very helpful, where you don't have to start over, with someone new. Sure. And so I think that's kind of also built our team to what it is now, is we don't have, someone going in and out, in and out, in and out. That's really helpful, I think, as well.
Yeah. When you were on maternity leave, I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I cried a whole lot. I was like, oh, Alyssa just started, but we really need her bad.
I know, but they shut my computer down. Yeah. They said, you cannot even access your emails. Yeah. I wanted to be there. I wanted to, but they said, no.
Yeah. But once I saw your face and saw Owen, totally worth it. You should take off all the time you need to.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. But not to change the subject, but I think it's good to or I guess something about me is I like to have identity outside of being a mother. And so that's just something that I strive for, is I like doing what I do every day. And so, I am a mother, but I'm also, I work for this team, and it means a lot to me. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So on the flip side of what we started talking about,
I don't even know what we started talking about.
So what are some of the challenges that you run into, and not necessarily like a challenge with doing mortgages, but I mean, challenges in life with a whole family at home and trying to do what you want to do and trying to see extended family.
I could talk all day about this. I mean, yeah, it may not be. I'm a new mom. It just feels like a different pace than it was once upon a time. And it could be that I'm just remembering my childhood of when I was young and what I was seeing. I wasn't experiencing bills and work and this or that, and so I don't know. It feels like a different pace nowadays. And so definitely balancing family, immediate family, extended family, work, a 1.5-year-old, teenage girls who are going through their thing. It's exhausting. If I'm being completely honest, it is mentally and physically exhausting. But I think that even just recently, I've really been trying to work on being present in the moment versus like dwelling on 5 minutes ago or what's going to happen in 5 minutes, and just trying to be present and be thankful for what's happening in this moment. That's kind of how I'm definitely, facing my challenges of balancing everything that happens in a 24-hour period.
Yeah. That's really cool. I mean, I think it's exhausting, and like, so now I have kids
and
that
you
are
have
all
grandkids
grown, and grandkids, and so like I think it's crazy because like when we were in all that, all our kids were little and we were trying to do everything in the world. It was just exhausting, and we were like, this is never going to end. Like, we're running from this ball field to that ball field. We got this tournament this weekend. We got this
that's
cheer
a part
thing.
of it. That is what it is, right?
It's all part of it. And then they grow up, and like people try to warn you, like, oh, they're going to be out of the house one day, and you're like, oh, such a sad meme. It sounds so, one day you're going to wake up and there's nobody to take to practice and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, oh, it's so emotional. And then when it happens to you, you're like, oh my God, this is so weird. But then there's like this shift, and I'm sure it depends on your family dynamics and all that stuff, but having grandkids now, it's like, it's not exhausting because we're having to get them everywhere, but now you want to be a part of everything.
Yeah.
So
it's like, mentally exhausting that you can't be a part of everything.
Yes. You
want to relive you want to relive those times that you're rushing through.
That's exactly right.
Right.
Yeah. So it's great advice when people say like, one day it's going to change. And like when you feel overwhelmed and you're like, you just don't even know how you're going to get any rest to get to the next day. It's like, you do get through it one way or another. And so, and then you definitely, when babies are little and they're into everything, 2-year-olds and stuff, people are just like, God, it's so whatever. Yes. But then like somehow they get to a point where you miss that.
I know.
It's like you're going through the teenage years and your kid's telling you they hate you or whatever the case is, which is whatever. You're dealing with what all people go through when teenagers rebel and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, man, it'd be kind of cool to have a toddler who's just knocking stuff over right now.
It's all like relative and, day to day and change it. But yeah, that's definitely where I'm at right now. I will see my 1.5-year-old doing what he does, and I'm like, but then I'm also like, it's just, I will say I've been very good about just being in the moment, accepting it, and enjoying the moment for what it is, because I know how fast it goes.
Yeah.
So
it's really cool. It's really fast. And then like you go through all those kind of like tough years, teen years and all that stuff, which, some kids really rebel, some don't, whatever. We had 6, so we had a gamut of everything. And then they become adults. And they start to do a couple things. And,
my baby's going to become an adult, Jamie.
A full-grown man one day.
No.
And they start to do little things, and then they start to have kids, and they do something, and you're like, oh my gosh, when they were a teenager, I thought they weren't listening at all. Look what they're doing. Are. And then there's this like crazy proud moment when you're like, you have a young man that's maybe like 17, 18, you see them like holding doors for people.
Oh, I'll die.
And you're just like, you can be like, oh my God, look, they may not have said everything I wanted them to say to me, but they are being respectful.
They're picking up on what I'm putting down. They understand.
Yeah,
they got it.
That's some of the coolest stuff ever. And then to see them be moms or them be dads. So yeah, I mean, it's like little goosebumps.
Oh, me too. I'll break down right now.
It's really cool. There's something about when they get to that age, and then it's a whole different part of life where then I'm like, man, how long do I get to enjoy this? Not to be like, mortality or whatever.
I know.
50 something, but I'm like, people become 70, 80 if you're lucky enough to live that long. So then you start going, I've lived 50 years and experienced all this stuff. So then it's like a whole new thing of like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go here. I want to show my grandkid that. I want to show him that. So there's all these different phases of life you go through.
Yeah, you always have something to look forward to. Like there's always just some type of positive or something that you can kind of grasp at to be like, this is what I can look forward to. But in the meantime, I can also enjoy what's happening right here in this moment.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely am enjoying every moment. And I think that, again, we're talking about like being a mother and a parent and experiencing those things. But like I said earlier, it is really important to me that I have an identity outside of that, because not only is parenting obviously enjoyable, it's very exhausting. And so I like to be able to separate from that at some point, and I do that through working on this team and for you.
That's awesome. Sometimes I have to take a step back too, because I was just sitting here thinking, I was going to say, being a mom and having bonus kids or whatever you want to call them, it gives you probably perspective when you're talking to other people. It changes your thought process.
Oh, definitely.
And then one of the things that's kind of unique for our team, as I'm sitting here talking, I'm like, you know what? We all have kids and bonus kids or step kids, like all four of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talk about getting around like people. There's a lot of relatability there that we've gone through or going through very similar things. So it's really cool.
Yeah. And it can just make the conversation more fluid with our clients, because I'm sure that some people just are like flustered on how do I explain this, or this is what our scenario is. And it's like, we've seen it all. We're humans too. We're not, we're not robots. Been there, done that. Like, yes, we can relate and understand.
Yeah. It's not my proudest moments, but when somebody says like, oh, and I went through a divorce, and I'm like, so have I.
Yeah.
It's
I
fine.
do too. And I'm like, yeah, I've been through a divorce. What? Yes. And then, it's like, and you want to be able to have that conversation with them so that that you can trust us.
Yeah. You don't have to feel like you're the only one that's ever gone through that before. That's fine. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let's figure it out. It's okay.
Yeah. Life will go on. So yeah. So are y'all excited about this time of year with like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that kind of stuff?
Well, again, not to bring up my baby, but he's 1.5 and he picks up on those things. So we've done the whole shebang. We've already decorated for Halloween. I got one of the huge skeletons from Home Depot. His eyes you can change the eyes, you can change the settings on him. He moves, he does all the things. So yeah, it's definitely an exciting time for me, especially right now, just because I get to live through his eyes. And growing up, we were really, really big on decorating.
Okay.
So I'm a big decorator all the holidays. And obviously type A, I have a Halloween bin. I have this bin. I have that bin. I have a fall bin. I have all the bins for all of the things and all the new things that I'll be purchasing as well.
And everything matches symmetrically.
Correct. And they all have to be the same color. They can't be different colored bins. That wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
The only thing that can be different is the label on them, according to Halloween or Christmas. And it has the Christmas colors or the Halloween colors. Those are the only things that can differ. But yes.
I'm really excited for the holidays coming up, because we've got, the 2 little ones in South Carolina. So I can't wait to see what they dress up as for Halloween.
A turkey. And then we did a turkey for Thanksgiving.
The 1-year-old is obsessed with dogs.
Is she?
She calls Stacy every morning and just says, dog, dog. And so
does she give them hugs?
Oh, if she could.
Oh,
but Stacy takes the phone out, shows her dogs walking around.
Oh,
she just wants
does
to
she
see
have
them.
a dog?
She doesn't.
Oh no,
she doesn't.
She needs a doggie.
I know. They're not a
Come
dog
on,
family.
Grandpa. Where's her doggie?
I've been told we can't buy her a dog.
Oh,
right now.
but you can buy her a fake doggie.
Of course, we will. But I think she's probably going to be a doggie for Halloween.
Oh, for Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the little one that's a newborn, they're probably going to make her like a little puppy or something.
Okay.
So they can be little dogs together.
That's the best.
She loves dogs. When she goes for walks in the stroller, she just looks around the neighborhood. That's all she's looking
specifically for a dog.
Just to see little dogs
Isn't
everywhere.
it the best?
It's so fun.
It's like the simplest things, like a dog.
Yeah.
Or it's like Owen, he's like, the moon. He always finds the moon.
Really?
Moo, 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 moo. I'm like, there's the moon, baby. It's just the simplest things. It's just the best.
That's so cool.
And the holidays, obviously, they just feel, hopefully for people, they feel, warmer and just good memories.
It's a fun time of year.
Yeah.
So before we go,
yes.
I wanted
Has
to
it
mention,
been 30 minutes already?
It's been that long.
No.
I mean, we could talk a couple hours.
It's been over 30 minutes.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Overtime today.
Wow.
Yeah. But before we go, I know we instituted a while back a team hotline.
We did.
So that people can call. So,
yes.
I know we don't want to say, hey, call Alyssa at this number, but kind of, what is the best way to reach out if somebody doesn't reach me and they just got questions or they kind of want to know like, how can Team Steelman Mortgage help me and move things forward and that kind of stuff. So how do they reach out to us?
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys can always text or call me. I have the team hotline. You guys can text or call it. It's 615-390-0324. We like to say we're 8 to 5, but I always have the phone on me, so you can text or call. I was talking to a client the other day, and she was like, okay, well, I probably won't be able to text or call you, until Saturday because people work different hours than we do, right?
Sure.
And so I always say, well, don't hold back your outreach because it's not between 8 or 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Outreach when you need to outreach when you have a moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, yes, please always text or call me. I like to say that I'm very good about, if I don't answer immediately or answer your call, I will get back to you.
Definitely.
I have no doubt about that.
I don't either. I can say that confidently. So, reach out if we can help you anyway. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Jamie. That went by so quickly.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Alyssa's a huge part of our team. I'm glad she took some time to be with us. Reach out if you'd like to experience Team Steelman Mortgage anymore and ask us any questions. We're always available, and have a great time. See you next time.